My name is Michelle, and my son Brayden drowned. It was June of 2008. Brayden was 17 months old, and his older brother was just almost 4. They'd been playing around the house all afternoon, like little boys do. I was home. I was actually about 4 months pregnant with my third, and I was really, really sick, not feeling well, definitely off my mom game that day. Earlier that day, the back door had been jammed, so I took off the childproof handle off of the knob so that I could get the door opened. I had set it on the counter, and I had forgotten to put it back on the handle that day. I mentioned that because I know that the boys would never have had access had I remembered to put that back in place. So naturally, the boys got out the back door. Probably for the first time ever, they did not ask and nobody heard them. They snuck out the back door, which gave them access to our backyard pool. It was minutes before we noticed that they were missing. Went searching the house like most parents do, and when we realized we couldn't find them, my husband went towards the back door, and just as he went to the back door, my older son was coming in to get us. And all he did was look at my husband, then turn and look at the pool. And sure enough, Brayden was in the pool face down. My husband pulled him out. We called DMS, and he started CPR while the paramedics were on the way. They came, they started and took over and worked on him for what seemed like forever. But unfortunately, Brayden never took another breath. There was a lot of things, a lot of mistakes that were made that day. We know that some of the layers of protection that would have prevented this drowning is if there were an alarm put on the back door that would have alerted us that the boys had left the house. If there were a fence around the pool with a gate that was closed and locked that the boys could not have access to that pool, that would have prevented this drowning. If we had taught the kids swim lessons, even Brayden at a very young age could have learned to roll over and float and protect himself in that aquatic accident, it could have prevented his drowning. If we had taken the time to talk to the boys about water safety and the fact that they need to never go near water without an adult and come get us before going to the pool so they knew that rule better, we could have prevented that drowning. Those are just some of the things that we believe could have prevented the drowning that day. A few years later, I started a nonprofit organization called Because of Brayden. After hearing how severe this issue is, learning that drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death in children 1 to 4, learning that I wasn't the only parent that had let this happen to my own child, and that there were family after family that were going through these horrible tragedies that were preventable, knowing there was knowledge available that I just didn't know, burnt a fire in me to be determined to make sure that no other family would have to experience this. And so I made it my mission to educate families and educate children on how to be safer around water and how families can make positive steps and changes so that this doesn't happen to them. So with that foundation, we do a lot of community outreach and community events. I work with organizations such as Safe Kids, our local hospitals, local aquatic centers, and swim teachers. I also go around and speak to elementary schools, Boy Scouts and Girl Scout troops, moms clubs, anybody really who would like to have me come and speak about water safety. I do both presentations for the children and for the adults, giving them the tools that they need to keep their children and the children in their care safer around water, and educating parents and families to make the steps that they need to protect these kids and to make them to be safer by following those layers of protection we know can prevent drowning. And on top of that, I also am part of several other, like I said, local organizations, and I help them in any kind of capacity that I can. We hand out lots of materials. I do partner with Collins Hope out of Austin, Texas, with our water guardian tags, and we talk to adults about the importance of being a water guardian and assigning an adult to have undivided attention around the pool or around any body of water at all times, whether you're swimming or not, to make sure one person is giving full undivided attention. So we spend a lot of time giving those materials out and educating parents how to use those important materials. We distribute those to as many people people as we can every single year. And again, with the help of Collins Hope, we're so proud to be a part of that project. So there's a lot of other materials that we do hand out. I provide materials as far as coloring sheets and activity things for children, and materials for parents to give out, working with other fire departments and other safety, health related organizations, YMCAs, just about anybody who would like to give information and pass it on to their customers and their clients and their patients, working with doctor's offices, just about anybody. Those are the things that we are currently doing and trying to reach within our community and across the nation however we can, to make a difference. Again, the number one goal is to educate parents to not let this happen. If we can save one life, have one parent make a decision to not make the mistakes that we made that day, then I know that we've done what we need to do.